The goal of this short video is to introduce you to the 3 certifications for our Trout in the Classroom program. Those certifications are the TIC Team certification, the TIC Team certification, and the Trout Team certification. So let's start with the TIC Team certification. Here's what you'll be doing if you are TIC Team certified. You will perform weekly health video reviews of the fish to make sure their behaviors are okay, and you will also be performing a weekly telemetry check, and we will get into what that involves in a little while. You will be taking some weekly ammonia dip strip readings, so you'll be testing the water quality of the tank to make sure it is up to par for our trout. You will be doing a bi-weekly, which means every 2 weeks, really small water change. So you'll be taking out about 2.5 gallons and adding in 2.5 gallons. The tech team is in charge of the technology, so you will be conducting weekly technology checks to make sure all of the hoses and cables and cords are all doing well on the tank. You will be changing something called the Sene slide for our telemetry equipment. And again, we'll get into more of that later. You will also be using our digital probes. So we have pH digital probes to make sure that our tank is not getting too acidic. And we have nitrogen digital probes as well. So you'll be using those probes to test the water quality of the tank. The trout team, as you might guest is in charge of making sure the trout are doing okay. So the trout team will be taking weekly mortality and counts. So that's seeing how many fish have not made it, and you'll be removing those fish. And then you'll also be removing any egg sacs at the very beginning of this process when the fish are hatching out of the eggs. You will also be theorizing about how or why some of the fish are not making it. You will also be feeding the fish. To start, we're going to be feeding them a specific amount based on what Colorado Department of Wildlife tells us. And eventually, as the fish get bigger, you will be determining how much you're going to feed them based on how much they weigh. Which leads us to the third thing that you're going to be doing. Every month, you will be weighing fish and figuring out what is the average weight of a fish in the tank. That will allow us to calculate how many pounds of fish are in the tank when we also do a monthly count of how many fish there are. And then we will be recalculating how much food they need to be getting. And finally, you will be submitting something called a tank status form to the Trout in the Classroom Wrangler intern every month. All students will have the opportunity to complete and submit what's called a Phobus. So a Phobus is basically a field observation by an unbiased student. So a field observation is your observations that you're taking of the trout in the field, which in this case is in the tank. You are the unbiased student. So you are just a student in the classroom who is collecting and submitting data. We will go over as we kind of move through this process, what kinds of things will go in that Phobus. So what you're going to need to decide is which certification or certifications you want to earn. It is a must-do to earn one certification. So you can pick which one is the most interesting to you and go ahead and work on earning that certification. It is an aspire to pick 2 or 3 certifications. So if you want to get certified in everything, you are absolutely welcome to do that.